It's time to plant my potatoes today, but before I take you up to the allotment, let's just have a quick recap on some of the seedlings and how they're getting on. There you go. Right. As you can see, they're all doing pretty well. Those are the lettuce, little gems, the calabrese, the giant sunflower seeds, and this is the biggest surprise, the oh god, what do you call it? The butternut squash seeds are well, that one's starting to poke through. Last year it took absolutely ages for them to come up. I've got some more sunflower seeds there. Here are the potatoes that are going in. Broad beans, just to fill in the blanks. The other tray of potatoes. I've also planted some peas up at the allotment, and I've also started them off in some of these 9cm pots upstairs. I can't be bothered to show you those, but believe me, they're on the windowsill upstairs. And yeah, that, as they say, is IT. That's the state of affairs at home in the kitchen. Right, let's grab some essentials and get up to the allotment. And most importantly, my partner in crime's coming up today. Hey, do you want to come to the allotment? No, that's a no. Well, it's a glorious day up here on the allotment. The sun is baking. It's like Barbados. I'm going to have to get the suntan lotion out, the beach towel, and not bother with the potatoes. I think I'll just get a tan. Anyhow, I am up here to do the potatoes. I can't believe I've chosen one of the warmest days of the season so far to do it. But I'll just get on with it. I'll stop moaning. While I've been up here, my spider senses have been tingling. I think I've had a rabbit up here just sniffing around. He's rooted around some of the beds here. I'll take the camera up in a minute and I'll show you what I think is wabbit evidence, as Elmer Fudd would say. But apart from that, it all looks pretty much as you were. In fact, well, it looks really parched. I'm glad I brought the watering can up today, so I'm going to get the spuds in, I'll water them, and then I'll water everything else. It looks very arid today, so yeah, I shouldn't be wishing for rain on a day like this, but the plot needs it. Alright, let's get up there. I want to show you the rabbit sniffings. Okay, I don't know whether you'll be able to make that out. I'm trying to look at it through the viewfinder and it looks a little bit sus, but there's like an indentation right there. There's a couple there. So it looks like, I don't know, a rabbit's been sniffing around. There's some here as well. Oh, where are we? There's one there. It's like he's just kind of taking the top layer of this wood chip up just to get a couple of, I don't know, roots. The wind's just blown my watering can over. Right, this is the plot so far. There you go, you can see some of the broad beans. Those are the 2 rows that I sowed directly into the ground. These ones were potted on from home, grown on from home. You can see this, they've all been attacked by this leaf cutter beetle, I guess it is. It's done it on every leaf, on every one of the broad beans. I don't think it'll harm the plants, but if any of you guys know otherwise, let me know, because I don't want to lose my broad beans this year, people. I planted 2 rows of peas. There's 1 row. And there's the other. God, look how dry it is. It really is. Really does need some water on the plot. The onions. Looking very oniony. You'll remember that this bed last year, or maybe you won't remember if you're new to the channel, I grew my potatoes in this bed. Well, so I'm just shifting down one bed. This is going to be the potato bed this year, and you can see it needs to be dug over before I can plant those potatoes. This first section's not too bad. I did this the other day. I've got to dig all that lot before I get the spuds in. God, I'm going to be up here a while. There we go, peas and broad beans. That there I'm working on is going to be a flower bed this year. All these are coming out. All these raspberry canes, they can do one. So I'd rather have this bed for flowers this year. Mr. Rhubarb saying hello. Doesn't look as good as like other people's rhubarbs. He's not as strong yet, but he's only been in, this is his second year, so he's got another year to go. And then here's that kind of final bed. I extended it the other week, as you will have seen in the previous video or two. Anyway, I better get those spuds in. Now you can see the section that I've been digging, just there. I've got to work back to the spinach, but for now I'm just going to leave it here. And I'm going to plant my first row of spuds there. I'll just dig a trench down there, and I'll set up the camera and show you how I do it. So my first trench is going to be there. I'm only going in as deep as the blade of a spade, so not too deep. And yeah, just dig a trench right way across the width of the bed there, and then I'll get my sarpomeras in. There's the first trench. All I do now is add some bloodfish and bone. Encourages rich green foliage, improved ripening of fruit and veg, slow release phosphate to boost root growing vegetables. As we're planting potatoes, my sarpomera, this is going to help. All I do is just sprinkle some in the bottom, plant the potatoes chits up, and away we go. After sprinkling the bloodfish and bone in the bottom of the trench, all I do is take my potato, in this case my sarpomeras, which have been chitting nicely for about the last month or two, certainly month, and I plant them chit facing upwards onto the bloodfish and bone, and then I just space them out every kind of 12 inches, just going down the trench. And finally, all I'm going to do is use one of these old bamboo canes just as a marker, just so I know where the rows are. That's where the first row is. I'll carry on doing the others. 5 rows of sarpomera have now been planted. I've still got enough potatoes to probably do another, certainly 2 rows, but today the weather has beaten me. It's really warm. I've run out of water. Plus I need to give these lot a good drink. Everything looks barren, arid, thirsty, dry. They're all screaming at me. Please, we need a drink. So I'll give them a drink, and then I'm going to go home, have a drink. Well, it's come to the end of a day on the allotment today. It certainly has for me. I've given everything a drink, and now it's time for me to go home and have a big drink myself. In fact, it's more like ice cream weather, so I might go home and get myself an ice cream. But yeah, today's been very warm up on the plot. It's been like Sudan. And the shed, man, you just can't risk going in there. It's like a reptile house, it's so warm. Anyhow, that's it for this week. Thanks for tuning in if you have. And I'll see you all again next week on the allotment. Bye for now.